been quite a while since I recorded my last video, which was weight loss part 1, so you have my apologies for that, but you know, I'm finally getting around to making this one now. There's quite a few changes since that. The most noticeable one, I guess, is that the camera's in a completely different position. It's mainly because I think that this background is less distracting, you know, there's less objects in the background here, so there's not some sort of weird, if there's anything going on there, it's not going to distract you from what I'm saying. I mean, I know that you don't have to look at me while I'm talking, we're not having a conversation. I'm having a conversation with a piece of plastic, which is disturbing. But anyway, let's get back onto track. Right, so a couple of things have changed. I'm shooting at night, and I've obviously got a black t-shirt on. But other than that, it's all pretty much the same. So let's get on with it, eh? Thanks for watching, and I'll get straight to the story. Since my last video, my memory has not dissolved at all, you'd be happy to know. I did mention in the end of my last video that I was going to talk about maybe the history behind why I became overweight. I guess the first real reason is to do with excess, and to do with, I guess, if you're going through a period of life where you're putting on weight, you tend not to think about it, you tend to just eat, and in a way that's part of the problem, and this is why I think losing weight is such a difficult task, because if you've sort of schooled yourself in a way, the class of eating, and you sort of just eat when you feel like it, and you eat in excess, it's very difficult to then go on to a diet where you have to really think about what you're eating, and that's the main mentality change I think that needs to occur during a diet for it to be successful. Is you really need to stop looking at food as, you can enjoy it, but you've got to not look at it as an object of sort of, oh, that's going to be nice. You've got to look at it more in a sort of, it's fuel for your body kind of way. Which
hair is awful, Jimmy, please change my hair.
In my previous blog, I mentioned that you have to begin by setting an important day when you're going to begin. Now, this is vital, because if you do not have a day that you're going to start, and you do not think, I'm going to do it, and that day I'm going to begin, I am going to start my journey, because, you know, as someone famous once said, I don't know their name, you probably don't know their name, but they said, the longest journey begins with one step, or the smallest step. Every journey you go on begins with the one step. It begins, there's always an initiator in everything you do in life. Anything, whether you get a job, it starts by getting to the interview, or beforehand, handing in your CV. There is always a beginning. With weight loss, that beginning is that day that you say, from this day, I'm officially on a diet. Now, whether you tell everyone this or not is irrelevant. You can tell people, and I personally did. I told my friends, and they were supportive through that, because they were, especially as the weight started coming off, they were very supportive, and you know, I told my family as well. And if you wish to do that, you can, but you don't have to. It's not a requirement. You don't have to go around shouting it from the rooftops. It's just that you know mentally in your head that you have begun your diet, and that from now on you have to really put the effort in. Beforehand you may have been slacking a bit, even though you were thinking about dieting, but now this day comes and it passes, and that is it. You've got to begin, and you've got to start strong. Now, I might want to apologise for being so firm in that last thing, but it is important that you do, you know, and I mean, this blog is not about talking to you really about what you need to do. You need to find your own path, really. But in terms of how I'm going to advise people, is that I would sincerely advise you to have a day where you're going to begin and stick to it. Anyway, to continue this blog in the vein that it is my personal story that I'm telling you, on the first I did not actually start. There were many reasons why, but the main one was just that I don't think I really had the right mentality to do it, and I didn't feel I was in the right position to do it. But I did start within a few days, and it really picked up from then. And I sort of went on, and you know, I'm not going to go into too much detail as to what I did, because I think I'm going to leave that for the next blog. But you know, I could say that the basic outline of my diet was to have a calorie controlled diet, and one of the most important things in that was having a very nutritious and big healthy breakfast of like whole grain cereal. So, you know, if there's any tip to take from this blog, it's that. Thanks very much. And now there's just going to be a slight interjection. I'm going to bend this spoon. Not burn it, bend it. I can burn it, it's easy. I've been trying this all week. Fuck it. Sorry about that. That was just something completely out there in the domain of the unknown. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, that's the second part of my story. In the third part, look forward to me telling you